Sophie Turner has once again caught the attention of fans around the world by talking about her iconic role as Sansa Stark. In a recent interview, the actress opened up about the possibility of playing Sansa again in a future Game of Thrones sequel. Her comments were honest, playful, and full of confidence. Sophie Turner became a household name after playing Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. She joined the show as a young teenager and grew alongside her character over 8 seasons. By the end of the series, Sansa had transformed into a strong, wise, and independent leader. When asked if she would return to the role, Sophie did not say no. Instead, she joked, "Show me the money," which immediately went viral. Fans loved her bold and humorous response, seeing it as a sign that she is open to the idea under the right conditions. She said returning to Sansa would feel like going back to an old home. The costumes, the sets, and the people all hold emotional value. However, she also made it clear that returning would need to make sense creatively and professionally. Sophie spoke about how much Sansa Stark evolved during the series. From a naive young girl dreaming of fairy tale romance, Sansa became the Queen in the North. Sophie said she feels proud of that journey and of how audiences connected with it. She also mentioned that fans still talk to her about Sansa every day. Whether on social media or in public, people often tell her how much the character meant to them. That lasting connection is one reason she understands why fans want a sequel. At the same time, Sophie Turner acknowledged the pressure that comes with returning to such a beloved role. Game of Thrones has one of the most passionate fan bases in the world. Any sequel would come with high expectations. Sophie said that if a sequel happens, she would want Sansa's story to continue in a meaningful way. She would not want to return just for nostalgia. The character would need growth, challenges, and purpose. She also talked about how she has changed as a person and as an actor since Game of Thrones ended. Life experiences, motherhood, and new roles have given her a different perspective. That growth could bring new depth to Sansa if she ever returns. Fans quickly reacted to Sophie's comments online. Many celebrated her confidence and honesty. Some praised her for knowing her worth, while others joked that Sansa Stark deserves the biggest paycheck of all. There has been growing talk about expanding the Game of Thrones universe. With prequels already in development and spin-offs being discussed, the idea of a sequel featuring original characters feels more possible than ever. Sophie said she would love to explore how Sansa rules the North after becoming queen. Fans have long been curious about what kind of leader Sansa would become and how she would protect her people. She also hinted that working with familiar cast members again would be emotional. The bonds formed during Game of Thrones were strong, and many of those friendships still exist today. Despite the excitement, Sophie made it clear that nothing is confirmed. There are no official scripts, announcements, or offers at this time. Her comments were more about openness than a promise. Her playful "show me the money" remark also started conversations about fair pay in Hollywood. Many fans supported her stance, saying actors should be properly valued for their work, especially for roles that defined an entire generation. Sophie Turner has always been open about her experiences in the industry. Her honesty has made her relatable and respected, especially among younger actors. As the conversation continues, fans are once again dreaming about Westeros. They imagine Sansa Stark stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever. For Sophie Turner, returning to Sansa would be both exciting and emotional. It would mean revisiting her past while bringing something new to the character. Whether or not the sequel ever happens, one thing is clear. Sansa Stark remains one of television's most iconic characters, and Sophie Turner's portrayal is a big reason why. Her comments have reopened the door to endless possibilities. And for fans of Game of Thrones, hope has once again been ignited. If Sansa Stark ever returns, fans know one thing for sure. She will do it on her own terms. Sophie Turner also spoke about how demanding Game of Thrones was during her early years. She grew up in front of the camera, learning not only acting skills, but also life lessons. The experience shaped her confidence and resilience as a performer. She shared that playing Sansa Stark helped her understand strength in a quiet way. Sansa was never the loudest or most aggressive character, but she survived through patience, intelligence, and emotional strength. Sophie feels that this message is still important today. The actress mentioned that many fans relate to Sansa's journey of survival and growth. People who have faced hardship often see their own stories reflected in Sansa's character. This emotional connection is one reason the role continues to matter so much. Sophie also addressed how much responsibility comes with revisiting such an iconic role. She knows that fans have strong opinions about how Sansa's story should continue. That responsibility makes her careful and thoughtful about any potential return. She said that if a sequel moves forward, it should respect the original story while offering something fresh. Repeating the past would not be enough. The story would need to feel relevant and meaningful. Sophie Turner also praised the writers of Game of Thrones for creating a complex female character like Sansa. She believes that Sansa's journey helped change how women are portrayed in fantasy television. The actress reflected on how far fantasy television has come since Game of Thrones first aired. The show raised the bar for storytelling, production quality, and character development across the industry. She also acknowledged that the final season of Game of Thrones sparked mixed reactions. Sophie understands fans' emotions and believes that any sequel would need to carefully rebuild trust with the audience. Sophie said she would love to see Sansa in a leadership role that is tested by difficult choices. She feels that showing Sansa's struggles as a ruler would make the story deeper and more realistic. Fans online have already begun sharing ideas about possible storylines. Some imagine Sansa facing political challenges in the north, while others hope to see alliances with other kingdoms. Sophie Turner's comments have renewed interest in the Game of Thrones universe. Many fans are revisiting old episodes and discussing what a sequel could look like. Industry experts believe that bringing back original characters could be a powerful move if done carefully. Sophie's openness has added fuel to those discussions.